What's up, YouTube? This is C-Dog, and I'm back with another review. And this review is on my first Masterminds figure, and this is Masterminds Creations R-12 reformatted Cynicus, or better yet known as VOS, from the Decepticon Justice Division. As you can see, we have Combiner Wars Megatron holding him, and in sniper mode. So, we're going to go through this review real quick. Let's get Megatron out of the way here. And focus on the sniper. As you can see, we have some nice details on the side of the barrel here. Nice pinkish red details going down the barrel. Some more red linings here on the side of his arm. And we got some more of the linings down here. And the red detail covers in the dial and the sniper scope. Some more running down the side of the gun here, and some red detail and gold details right there. Now looking at, you can look right down where what he would see, the robot, the scope right is there. Yeah, so this is the sniper mode. It's got a couple articulated arms. They swivel and swivel here for like feet, basically. Let's move this down. This in focus. Yeah, so a couple things like that. There we go. And it's not bad. It's pretty cool. Pretty finicky, but once you get to know it, it works out. You got a peg in. You can see that peg in the front. It's pegged right into this piece right here, of the scope. You got to peg in a couple pieces back here into the legs. I'll show you that, but yeah, let's take a bird's eye view of what the bot would be looking at. And as you can see down here, we have 5mm peg and another one over here. So we take my trusty and we'll flip this one. We can switch hands. See? Alright. Now I'm going to move real quickly for this review. So first of all, let's do the transformation. You'll just separate this, put these up here like so, set that aside. Now we have this to work with. Let me set this up a little bit. Alright, so first off we want to, well, I guess we can do the arms. So you unpeg, you see these pegs right in here and there? Those peg into the side of the gun right there, those square holes. Yep. And then the gun pegs itself in right into the center of the bot's where his head would be in robot mode. So you just unplug that, set it aside. Then you put his shoulders down and you make sure that the red detailing is on the outside of the shoulder, on the outside. So bend it out like that, red detail on the outside. Good to go. Now we flip this part down. This is the front grip for the barrel. Alright, next we want to unplug the legs. So this is a technique I want to show you. If you look, you'll see that peg right there on this gray swing bar, or it looks like a bar at the moment, but that gray bar. And if you look, you can see the hook right there. It's like a tab, a square tab right here where my fingernail is. If you look inside the leg, you can see a square hole, and a round hole. That's for the hook and the peg. The round peg on the gray bar plugs into here after you hook that blue hook right down here into this square hole. And you do it into the one leg, and then you'll line it up and do it into the other. So anyways, so you just disconnect this from in between the two of the legs. Then just pop it out like that, and then you will swing that back underneath his legs and back behind him. Then you take his legs, go whole leg inward, outer or lower leg outward. So the whole upper leg and the entire leg inward, and then just the lower leg outward. Then we want to straighten out his feet to give him some feet. Alright, and then what you can do next is you can pull out right, you see this joint right here? You pull that out. And those tabs right there are important on the gray. The articulated hinge here. See, it moves kind of like this, and it also moves up here. So you want to make sure you pay attention to those tabs. So what we do next is we go back here and we unclip. You see that split down there? You open up the split down the middle, and it pops open with these pegs on one side and holes on the other. Holes, see? So then what we want to do is we want to put them out front. So in order to do that, we just swing them to the front of him, and then you swing this bar right here to the back of him. So next you want to pay attention to, let's see if I can get a light on it. Yeah, you see that where my thumbnail is, that square hole in front of there's these two pegs, and then over here more, there's a square hole. That will go tab into that gray articulated bar. If you don't do that, it will be all kinds of flimsy. So you make sure that you tab that in first, like so. Let's see. So you just make sure that's tabbed in. I gotta do it a different way. There we go. Make sure that's tabbed in, and then you can come on the other side and tab the whole thing in, and that bring those around like his abs, and then that will give him his waist joint. Next, you pull up his head from behind there and turn it around. Turn around. This is articulated, and swing his chest plate up. See how it's like, and then we'll put his head up like that. The next, we want to make sure. We want to turn, it will be facing like this. You want to make sure that this is facing with these hooks. Those are those hooks like I showed you for the legs. If you look at both of them, they look like that, those hooks. And they'll peg in right in between these two spots right here. So you want to make sure that you turn this upward, and then at the same time, this bar, first you want to make sure this bar is facing, it has to go up. But if it's not, it has to be facing backwards. See how the bar bends back this way? It goes down and then this way instead of down and then this way, because it will 180. So if you do it wrong, it's going to look like that. So make sure that it's facing like this. Then rotate this up. I know it's a little tricky, but it's doable. Rotate this up, make sure that the dial's facing forward, and then just peg these in behind there. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but not too bad. I think you peg one end of it on one side. It's sometimes tricky because you can't see, but it's not too bad. There, just like that. And then this is pretty much the transformation. You just swing his crotch plate around, make sure it line him up so he's good. You take this and you can, this will be like this, and you extend this, and then this kind of takes a little force, and you pop it, and then he has shoulder cannons. Okay, I was wrong. It was the other way. Alright, so, my bad. So if you get it wrong, just take the bar out, swing the whole bar 180 until it's facing the other way, and then retry it again. Alright? It'll make you be able to see easier. I knew I was doing it wrong. I always do it wrong sometimes. So whatever I told you about the bar, make it face the opposite way. I apologize about that. And then clip it in. There. And that'll give him his articulated shoulder pads in the back. That shoulder cannon, sorry. Alright, now we just want to set them up. And then, oops, I got all those pieces flying around. Like that. Let me get everything adjusted here. The camera adjusted. Alright. And we'll go look over some details. So, looking at the head sculpt first. Very nice head sculpt. Very vibrant red eyes. It's got that gray, a matte gray kind of faceplate and border around his red crest. He's got those spikes coming down that are matte gray. He's got a very nice matte purple, deep dark purple for his whole plastic color. Looking very nice. It's the same on his chest. It's the same carrying down his legs, but if you look, you can see his abs done with nice paint apps of matte gray. He's got some gold paint right around his neck. Make sure that his shoulder pads are around like this, and that his red details are on the outside. He's got some red lining on his arms there, very nice. Some detail on the side of his leg. It's kind of like a metallic-y, I can show you that. Sort of like a metallic-y gray. And he's very cool. So we'll go over articulation real quick. He has, well, this will swivel around a little bit, and it will also pivot here, and if you use a little force, it clips back. So that'll be like that. His head has the chicken, like the Robot Spirits, the neck and the head. So the head will look, let me get it out of the way, look way down and then way up. So that's cool. It has a neck pivot, turns side to side, no problem. It does a 360 all the way around. And then his arms, let's see if we move that away. His arm joint will go up and down like that, plus it's on the ball hinge. Then he's got a bicep swivel. He's got a double jointed elbow that moves in 180 degrees. He's got a wrist that bends inward and has all kinds of flexibility in the ball joint. So that's nice. The next bit of posability would be his waist. Goes side to side, front to back very well. Nice ab crunch there. He also has a waist swivel, so that's cool. His thighs moving down to his hips will go out. Not considerably as much as they go up, but they go out good. And then they go way up. They have an upper thigh swivel, has a lower leg swivel, has a double jointed knee. It's a joint to here and then an extra joint to there. He has an inward ankle tilt that can go way in. He can go forward, he can go backward, and he can also do the toe bend. Like that. So he's got a lot of posability. And there's probably even more. Like his chest will swivel around for articulation and for transformation, and this will swivel around a little bit to get you higher kicks and things, and for the transformation. So that's his posability up in a knot. He also comes with this handle that you clip in on the back of his sniper mode for Feral Rex's handle to wield the sniper. Then in robot mode, he just clipped it in on these couple tabs right here, clip in on those couple holes right there, those square holes. You just clip it in like that, turns into his backpack. Then he can also hold his pistol, which we'll look at real quick. Not bad, some details. He holds that real well, and if you want, you can turn it into his rest of his sniper, which he can also hold a peg down here and turn it into a real big bad day for somebody. So that's pretty much the accessories, other than he also comes with a couple of torture devices. So if you'd like, you can take his head off and replace it with this head. And there's a couple holes there. Let me see if I can. And where his eyes go, you see that? Yeah. And then this is his faceplate. Let's see if I can get that to come in. Yeah, not really. Anyway, this is his faceplate, and if you take it off, it's this torture device. You can see the spikes. Oops, it's very, very, very small. I've already lost it, but I didn't lose it. But here it is. If you look, you see how it's got the spikes on it, and like that. Good spikes. All right. Please leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And leave a like. Got lots more toys coming. Peace.